I want to quickly talk to you about how to get a loan with no credit check or a pay stub. Let's say you don't want to you don't want your credit to be checked, or you don't have a pay stub. How do you get a loan? Let's talk about that. So the first thing you want to do is you need to get to know the loans that actually offer no credit check or no pay stubs, because not every lender will accept your conditions, but there are some lenders out there who will actually grant you a loan with no credit check or no pay stub. So the first player I want you to check is Credit Ninja. So Credit Ninja is actually a platform that allows you to get a no credit check or no pay stub loan. This is kind of cool. So they have personal loans, they have bad credit loans, they have online installment loans. Fantastic. And what we love about this player is that you can actually get maximum $5,000. $5,000. This is really cool. I mean, we're not talking about a payday loan here. We're talking about a regular loan, and you can get all the way to $5,000 with no credit check or no pay stub. So this is really fantastic. The other player I want to share with you is Advanced America. Advanced America is another player where you can get loans and lines of credit. Now, Advanced America is a little more generous, so you can actually get all the way to $50,000 depending on your state. And here you have a constellation of loans. You have payday loans, you have installment loans, you have title loans, you have cash advances, you have lines of credit, online loans, emergency loans, personal loans. So this is another player that we love a lot, and that's really fast. Okay, maximum amount $50,000. And again, the good thing here is that you can get a loan or a line of credit, not a problem. The only thing I want to say here is that not all states qualify. So you have, so here are the states that qualify: Alabama, California, Colorado, Delaware, Florida, Idaho, Indiana. We're going to put the states on the screen. You have Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Michigan, Mississippi, Missouri, Nevada, Ohio, Oklahoma. You have Rhode Island. You have South Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Wisconsin, and Wyoming. If your state is not in there, so you don't qualify. The third player that actually asks no credit, they don't do credit check or pay stub, they don't ask for pay stub, is Jora. So Jora, you have a bad credit loans, online loans, direct lenders, you have installment loans, lines of credit. Fantastic. You can get all the way to $4,000. So this is kind of cool. So the thing is, so I just shared with you a few lenders. There are more though, but those three are really great when it comes to. Actually, I have more. I have three what I want to share with you, but I just want to tell you that the possibilities is there. Okay. By the way, boss, welcome back to the show. It's really a pleasure to have you here. Make yourself comfortable. We are going to have a conversation about how to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs this year. Another lender that we love that doesn't ask for a credit check or like no pay stubs is Reliable Personal Loans. And with Reliable Personal Loans, you actually have a large network of lenders, and they don't ask for credit scores at all. They might even not even they don't ask even they might pre-qualify you. So you have personal loans, and they can actually approve you all the way to $40,000. So you have a maximum amount of $40,000. Fantastic, and you can get funded within 24 hours. Another player that we love is Ace Cash Express. And with Ace Cash Express, you have a lender that is not as generous. Here you can get maximum $2,000, no credit check, no pay stubs. And you have payday loans, cash advances, installment loans, title loans. All those possibilities are present here. And what we love about Ace Cash Express is that they have, you can get your cash within 12 hours. 12 hours, not a problem. Another lender I want to share with you is Brainy Loans. So with Brainy Loans, you actually have a maximum loan amount of $50,000. You have personal loans, debt consolidation loans, auto loans, small business loans, mortgage loans, short installment loans. So what I'm trying to say here, you have a lot of players. They are very, very generous with you. And the cool thing is they're not asking they're not really checking your credit. They're not asking for pay stubs. Obviously, you have to show later on, and I will explain this later on. You have to explain how you are going to repay the loan. But right off the bat, they're not asking you for those. They're not bothering with too much paperwork. And you can use the loan I'm talking about. Again, I'm not talking about payday loan like, small ass loans. I'm talking about loans that can go all the way to $50,000. And you can use the loan for all kinds of stuff, to consolidate debt, for a car purchase or repair, for medical expenses, for a major purchase, for home improvement, for bills, for wedding. Talk to me. For vacation, business expenses, education. Talk to me. For taxes, for all kinds of expenses. Okay. So you have the flexibility here. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We're having a conversation about how to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs. So if you're trying to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs, the first step is what? You need to familiarize yourself with the lenders who do not ask for a credit check or pay stubs. And I give you a list, I give you 6 of them, but there are many more. Okay. The second thing you want to do is you need to really have a clear idea about how to get loans with no income verification. It's really important. And what I want to say to you first is that you need to consider all sources of income. So basically you're sitting there, you're just thinking, listen, I don't want my credit check or my pay stub to be verified. Okay, I understand that. But how are you going to repay the loan though? Because if they give you the loan, I mean, you heard that I told you, for instance, that you have a maximum loan amount of $50,000 and it will probably be over 5 years. Okay, I understand that. So how are you going to repay the lender? So you need to consider all sources of income. So basically what this means, it means that if you do not want your credit to be checked or your pay stub to be verified, then you need to give assurance to the lender that you are generating income, which means that all sources of income will be asked for. For example, you might need to provide a bank statement. For example, like for the last 3 months, for example, where you show the lender that, hey, listen, you do have income coming in. This can be an investment revenue. It can be trust revenue, whatever it is. Maybe you're working a part-time job or a series of part-time job or part-time gigs, and you're trying to generate revenue anyway. Like you got to have one source or several sources of legit income, right? That's number one. The second thing is you need to check your credit, even though they're not checking your credit. You need to understand, when you're looking for a loan with no credit check, those loans tend to be more expensive in terms of APR and in terms of the repayment window. For example, some lenders might not give you 7 years or 5 years. They might give you 2 years because the risk is there, right? So if you want to maybe have more flexible, easier terms and conditions, maybe check your credit. Who knows? Your credit ain't that, maybe not that bad. I mean, you might be thinking, well, you're probably around 300, but when you check, you're like, oh, I'm around 500 or I'm around 600. Sometimes we think we think of certain things without checking the reality. So if you check reality, you might be surprised. So check your credit anyway. When you check your own credit, you're not getting it's not a hard pull when you check it yourself. The third thing you want to do here is you want to compare your options. If you're looking for a loan with no credit check or pay stubs, I gave you 6 options before, but there are many more. So you got to sit down and ask yourself, which one is suitable for me? Remember, some lenders are not available in all states. So this is another possibility you need to think about. Some lenders are not available in all states. So you got to ask yourself, what are the lenders who are available in my state? Okay, so as I told you, some lenders will approve you all the way to $50,000. This is great. I mean, $50,000, that's really fantastic. But do you qualify? Does your state qualify? Does the lender do business in your state? Because remember, when we talk about borrowing, when we talk about banking, everything is managed at the state level. So if your state has, let's say, strict banking laws that do not allow the lender to be present in your state, then you have to go to another lender. So compare your options. You need to collect your documentation. So we're talking about, obviously, you do not want the lender to pay attention to your pay stub. That's fine. Maybe you don't have a pay stub anyway. That's fine. But what other documentation do you need? For example, if you do you have bank statements, your tax returns, for example, your W-2s, right? So those are really important to really think about. So once you have that, you got to ask yourself, what you want to contact the lender though. You want to be in clear communication, in direct communication with the lender to have a clear idea what kind of eligibility criteria they have, so that you can provide exactly what they have and get funded ASAP. And the next thing you want to, so once you've done everything, once you have you're clear with everything, just submit your loan application. The good thing is you get to your loan application, you can submit the application online. If you're applying with an alternative lender. And if you're applying with a bank or a credit union, you can apply at a branch, not a problem. You can apply with a phone. As a matter of fact, you can even log into your account. You can log into your account at the bank or at the credit union and apply from there. So basically, if you don't want credit check or pay stubs, you're probably having a source of revenue at the bank, like a direct deposit or something that shows the bank you have the means, you'll have the financial means to repay the loan, whatever loan they advance to you. So the possibilities are there. By the way, boss, I want to quickly remind you of today's topic. We are having a conversation about how to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs. Now I want to talk to you about direct lenders. So when we talk about the best loans with no income verification or low income required, you probably saw that the first list of lenders that I gave you, they were not all of them were direct lenders, but it's important also as you're trying to explore the best way to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs. It's kind of good to have a clear idea about some of the direct lenders out there who will be happy to lend to you even with no credit check or pay stubs. So we have actually gathered a few of them. So you have Upgrade. Upgrade, for instance, there is no verification of your annual income. So you have loan amounts that go from $1,000 all the way to $50,000. The loan terms, we're speaking about 24 to 84 months. Fantastic. So that's 2 years all the way to 7 years. And you also have Universal Credit. And there is no verification of a minimum annual income. And you have loan amounts that go from $1,000 all the way to $50,000. And the loan terms here, 36 to 60 months. The third player here, you have Best Egg. And Best Egg wants you to have minimum annual income required of $3,500. So you don't have to provide a pay stub. As long as you can prove that you are making at least $3,500 a year, you are good to go. Loan amounts oscillates between $2,000 and $50,000. And loan terms, we have 36 to 60 months. The fourth player here, you have Happy Money. So Happy Money wants you to have 300% of your monthly income in the bank account. And you are looking at loan amounts that go from $5,000 all the way to $40,000. And the loan terms 24 to 60 months. And then you have Citibank. Citibank wants you to have a minimum annual income of $10,500. You don't have to have a pay stub. Okay. Citibank, in some cases, they don't check credit. They don't check your credit if you are asking for a small loan amount. So here we're looking at for Citibank, we're looking at $2,000 all the way to $30,000. As long as you're looking for a loan amount that is less than $5,000, and you've been with Citibank for 5 years, they do not take your credit. So loan terms here, the loan terms go from 12 to 60 months, and then you have Upstart, where here you have the minimum annual income required is $12,000. That's like $1,000 a month, and the loan amounts go from $1,000 all the way to $50,000. And the loan terms 36 or 60 months. And then you have Avant, the minimum annual income required, $14,400. And loan amounts $2,000 to $35,000. And the loan terms 12 to 60 months. You also have alternative sources of financing for if you are a low income or no income borrower, you have alternative sources of financing. This is really important to consider too, because see, the thing is that sometimes you want to apply for a loan by yourself and things are just complicated because you do not have the appropriate financial profile to qualify for a business loan or a personal loan for that matter. So you can think about co-signed loans, for example. Those could be great for you if you're trying to boost your chances of approval. If you're trying to boost your approval odds, it's great. If you do not meet a lender's income requirements, you may qualify for a traditional unsecured personal loan if you have a creditworthy co-signer apply with you. Right now, that co-signer can be a relative or a friend, and that person must have a high credit score anyway. You can't just pick someone with a low credit score and have that person as a co-sign with you. Okay, you have to remember that adding a co-signer improves your chances of getting a loan because the lender will consider your co-signer's income and credit too. So this is kind of cool. And or you can try a credit union emergency loan. Here you also have the chance to actually qualify. Or you can try a loan or grant from nonprofit organizations. That's also possible. It really depends. Those things change from state to state. So those are elements that really, every state has its own particularities. Let me say it that way. But it is often possible. I just want to clarify and I want to reassure everybody that it is often possible to get a traditional personal loan without a source of income if you have a cosigner or you're willing to use property or other assets as collateral for a secure loan, or you have an existing relationship with the bank or credit union and you've had that for many years. Okay, and so you can basically get a personal loan without a job. Not a problem. Yes, you can get a loan even if you're unemployed. The most important thing is that the lender cares about your ability to repay the loan, because see, I can give you any loan that you want, but you have to be able to show me that you are able to pay. Even if you don't have a proof of income, you have to show me proof of revenue, proof of cash flows, that your cash flow. If it's not income, then we want to know your cash flow, your cash inflows, money coming in, because the money coming in is the money that's going to be used, at least partially or totally, to repay the loan. So as long as you can actually clear that hurdle, that you can actually provide that evidence to the lender, you are good to go. Let me close to this conversation by actually talking a little bit about the personal loans that have no income verification. The thing is that there are several types of loans that have no income verification, and you need to have a clear idea about the typology of the loan here, because not all loans are created equal, so to speak. So you need to know, like, some loans are expensive, some loans are fast to get, some loans require online application, some loans require like a branch application, some loans requires you to do application over the phone or through the app. So it's really diverse. Now, first of all, when we talk about personal loans with no income verification, you have personal loans for excellent credit. So basically, if you have excellent credit, you can get a loan with no income verification because the lender is relying on your credit. Okay, that is if you have excellent credit. I'm talking about 740 all the way to 850. So that you can actually, you can qualify, not a problem. And so you also can think about secured loans. And unlike unsecured personal loans, secure loans require collateral. So this is one thing where you got to ask yourself, okay, I don't have income, or I don't want the lender to check my credit, but I don't really care anyway because I'm going to provide collateral. Yeah, I'm going to collateralize the loan. I'm going to secure the loan. So you remove right away the fear of default that the lender has. Okay, there's no more default risk here if you collateralize the loan. So at least in theory. So you basically can go that route also. You can consider a pawn shop loan. Now the pawn shop loan we do not really love. We don't like it because basically pawning can work like a loan. The loans are secured by your property, but pawn shop loans, they work differently than other secure loans because the pawn shop takes physical possession of the item until the loan is repaid or your term ends. If the loan is not paid off on time, the pawn shop can sell the item to recoup its investment. So it's a little dangerous. We would not advise you to go that route. But hey, listen, if cash is tight and you really need to survive or you need to do anything, you do whatever is necessary for you to survive anyway. So, we can't tell you don't do this because we have no idea about your situation. Thank you so much for your attention. Really appreciate it. In today's conversation, I explained to you, let's do a quick recap here. I explained to you how to get a loan with no credit check or pay stubs. So I gave you a few steps here. First of all, you get to know loans with no credit check or pay stubs. Number two, you have, and again, those loans you have Credit Ninja, Advanced America, you have Jora, you have Ace Cash Express, you have Brainy Loans, you also have, So the second thing you want to do, you need to understand the loan that had no income verification. You got to have a clear idea about the direct lenders when it comes to no income verification loans. And you got to think about the alternative sources of financing for low or no income borrowers. And this is just fantastic. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will speak to you another time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.